welcome back to the channel. It is your girl Lana Simone. So first of all, I wanted to welcome you guys in. If you are new to the channel, welcome in. If you have been here for a while, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about trusting God in all things. And so, I think this is so important. Oftentimes I see so many people really on this journey with God. They're on a journey with God. But sometimes they get to a point where they're like, that the trusting part kind of becomes like a pick and choose type situation. They're like, okay, I believe in God. I believe that he can do some things, but trusting him, I don't really know how that works. Trusting him, I mean, I could trust him, in this situation, but I don't really know if I could trust him in this situation, because if I trust him with picking my husband, then that means I gotta, live a different way. That means I gotta make some different choices when it comes to men. That means I have to, change some things. And so, but if I just trust him to like give me some more money, then that's easy. I don't really gotta do much. I don't really gotta change. So I'm gonna trust him with this. But as far as with my relationship, I got that handled. I got that figured out. I don't need no help. Because why? Then that would mean I would have to like change some things. And I don't want that. I believe in him, but I don't want to do all that. I don't really take everything so seriously. You know what I'm saying? And so people be like that. They're like, okay, I'm going to trust him for this money, but I ain't going to trust him with this relationship because I got this. I know I be with, guys that kind of break my heart all the times. A girl that break my heart or be playing me, but it works out for me. So I can trust him with this, but I can't trust him with that. And so, it's kind of like we are at a crossroads. We're like, I'm going to have trust him. I'm going to trust him with what I need him to do. But this situation, I'm not going to trust him with. So we like pick and choose when and how we want to trust God in the different situations. But why can we not just start trusting him in all things? Because oftentimes I think people don't want to trust God in all things because, like I said, it causes you to now have to make a change. Sometimes when we trust and believe in things from God, it then causes us to now have to make a change in our life. And it doesn't cause a change because, God is forcing a change and because he's like, you need to do this stuff this way. No. When now you take the journey with God and you really partner with God and things, your inner being now, like, it's like a change starts to happen within you that causes you to want to change. It's like now, like, conviction and different stuff starts rising up, which now provokes a change naturally to start happening. And so we're like trying to fight it, but we don't realize the blessing from that. You know what I'm saying? And so oftentimes we want to trust God with this, but we don't want to trust him with that. But if we can trust him in all things, imagine how much our life can change. Imagine the things that God will give us and will, really start to transform in our lives. Imagine not have to continuously being in toxic relationships. Imagine not having to, figure stuff out on your own. Like, imagine living a life differently. Living a life with less stress, living a life with less worry, living a life with less doubt. Yes, these things still come because we're human and this is life that we're living. So it's unrealistic to think that we're never going to deal with any other type of emotion, even if you believe in God or not. But life becomes easier and better to deal with these things when you do have God on your side. And so, one thing that I really encourage people to start doing is start to trust God in all things. Yes, it may make you feel uncomfortable. Yes, it may make you feel like, you got to change and, live up to a different standard. But that's good. That's good. Listen, why do you want to keep on living below your means? Why do you want to continue to be comfortable in your mess and your sin and the things that you're doing? Why? Why do you only want to trust God for one thing, but you don't want to trust him in this thing? Why? Because you're afraid that you're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid that something may now change to where it pulls you from your old ways. It pulls you into a new direction. But you fighting that and trying to go against it is preventing you from being able to step into some of the best days of your life, to step into some of the best relationships of your life. Because you choose to stay stuck. You choose to not want to change. You choose to only trust God in some things and not all things. You know, one of the best things I've done in my life is trust God in each and every area of my life. No area do I pick and choose like, oh, you can help me with this, but you can't help me with this. You can help me with this, you can help me, but you can't help me with this. No. Each and every area, whether that's relationships, whether that's finances, whether that's fitness, every area of my life, God is in the mix, okay? So why? Because I realized I can't do things on my own. I realized that I am human and have a human brain and mind. And so sometimes I will fall short. Sometimes I will not have all the answers. Sometimes I will not have it all right. But I do know that there is someone who created me, who knows me from beginning to end, who knows the plans that he has for me. Because why? He declares it in his word and says that to me. And so I know that I'm not too in over my head. I know that I'm not God. And because I know that I'm not God and I know that I am human with flaws, I know that I need help. I know that I can't do each and every area of my life by myself. I know that the best person to partner with is God in all things, to trust, to know. The person who would have my best interest is God. I know who will never fail me. I know who will never forsake me or leave me. I know who will get me to the destination that not only he has for me, but I desire to get to. You know? And so in all areas of my life, I'm trusting God. Because why? Why not? We put so much trust in the government. We put so much trust into our boyfriends. We put so much trust into a game. We put so much trust into universities. We put so much trust into everything else. But the one who created us, the one who knows everything about you. We can only trust him with only so much instead of trusting him with everything. And so, you know, once you learn that you're human, once you learn that you'll make mistakes, once you learn that you don't have it all figured out and that you're not God and that you just know that you can't do things on your own, then you start realizing that you need help. You realize that you need help, and the best help you can get comes directly from God. In all things, I have trusted God in my life, and in all things, they have all worked together for my good. And that's what God promises in his word. It's for each and everything in our life to work out for our good if we just trust and believe in him. And so, you know, today I really encourage you to do that. Today I really pray that you can start trusting God in all things. It's okay if that causes you to have to start changing a little bit. It's okay if that starts to cause you to have to like surround yourself with different people in different circumstances. It's okay. What may seem like it's uncomfortable, what may seem like it's a setback, what may seem like you're losing it, you really gain so much when you just let it go and surrender your life to God and say, Lord, I've tried to do this in my own way. Tried to do things in my own ability. I've tried to trust you in just a little bit of my life. But this time I want to trust you in each and every area. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. I think that's what most people fail, and that's why they don't want to trust God in all areas of their life, because they think they have to be perfect. And they think that one failed mistake is going to like cancel them from God. And God is like, oh my God, nope, shut it down. You're out, you're out, you're out, okay? you were in, but now you're out. I'm like, no. No. God extends grace. God gives us mercy and knows that we're human. But he just wants to know that you can trust him. He wants to know that you can trust him with your life and trust that he knows, the plans that he has for you and that he wants the best for you. It takes a lot to trust. All throughout my life, I've dealt with issues. I had previously dealt with issues where I had a really hard time trusting people in my life. I had a hard time really trusting people, which then caused me to be able to have like trust issues and stuff like that, by different circumstances and things in my life. And thank you so much to God when I finally made a choice to deal with that, where I decided to no longer have to deal with that. And I feel like I needed to say that because so many people deal with the same thing. When I'm talking about trust issue, trust is a big thing. To trust somebody with your life is a big deal, especially if you experience things in your life where, let's say, a parent or somebody who was supposed to guide and lead and protect you, you put your trust in them and they failed you. You put your trust in them and they let you down. That's where a lot of times trust issues start. That's where a lot of times trust issues can form. When someone so close to you may have caused you to feel like your trust, like they caused trust to be broken. And so, for me, I dealt with that and I had to overcome that because I realized that the worst thing that you can do is put your trust in man. When you put your trust in man, they will fail you every single time. Yes, trust is important. You can build trust with people and there's healthy ways to build trust. And I want people to know that. But sometimes if you put your trust in man so much, it can cause a lot of disappointment. It can cause a lot of hardship in your life because that's not where our trust fully should be. Yes, we should be able to learn healthy ways and have people around us that we can trust because you want that. But our trust and hope should always remain in God and God alone. And knowing that he will never leave us, he will never forsake us, and he will never fail us. And he will never lead us wrong in the things that, we want to do in life and really, obtain. So just know that I had to deal with stuff like that. That was a part of my healing journey and all that stuff. But once I overcame that, it became beautiful. My trust was more broken with man than it was with God, thank God. Like, I always had that trust in God, but sometimes if you allow your hurt from the trust in man to now, pour into your being able to trust in God, that's when sometimes you can be on that like 50-50 with God. You're like, no, because my father, broke my trust, or my mom broke my trust, I can only trust so much. So then we carry that hurt and pain with us being able to trust and believe in God for things and stuff. So we're like, okay, I can trust God with this, but I'm not going to trust him with this, because when I trusted my dad to help me with this guy who I told was abusing me or something, then when, he didn't really help me. So now I can't trust God with my relationships because the person who was closer to me, didn't help me. So how could God, which is we would look like as a father example, how could he help me? So, that's kind of that's an example, that is not my example, but that's just an example, to kind of compare of why people can not really trust God in all things, because something like that could happen, and which then changes their perception of being able to trust in God. So that's just an example I wanted to give. People have different reasonings and justifications, and there's so many more examples I could give, but that's just something that came to mind. But you know, just think about that. You know, first of all, figure out what may be holding you back from being able to trust in God in all things, and really work through that. And you know, from there, move forward and push forward to be able to really start trusting Him in all things in your life. Because when you can do that, your life really starts turning out a lot better, and it just becomes a more beautiful experience than this halfway trusting Him. Like, trust Him in all things, and I guarantee you, your mind and your life will really start to change for the better. So you guys, I really hope this video encouraged you today. I really hope this video gave you some new insight, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.